Welcome to another video. Today we're going to have a look at how do we trigger OnValidate. Now you're probably wondering, first of all, what is OnValidate and how is it useful? So we have a bunch of scriptable objects and I want something to happen whenever one of the pieces of data over here have changed. And that is where OnValidate comes in. It is a Unity editor-only function that runs whenever the script is loaded, or if any of the data, or rather the fields, have changed, then it will trigger. So let me first show you what I mean. This is our run modifier data that we've seen just a moment ago. Over here, we've got some ID, display name, description, something to represent an icon, and something to represent an achievement. Now, in this, we want to pass the icon into the achievement data that is actually bound over here. But how do we do that? Very simply, we can run OnValidate, or rather hook into OnValidate. So this is every mono behavior, or rather every Unity object has got an OnValidate trigger that happens whenever, like I said, the data has changed or the script is loaded. And in this case, what we're looking for actually is our implementation over here. The apply an icon to the achievement if one isn't already set. So the idea is that we would drag some achievement into here, and as soon as we've replaced this serialized value, we will have OnValidate trigger. It's gonna say, hey, do we have an icon? If we do have an icon present, add it to the achievement. In this example, we're using it to represent some kind of an achievement list so that there's an icon representing this piece of information. Now, one of the things you realize is when you start having lots and lots of objects here that say you've decided, no, I want to use some other different serialized data and I need to drag it from somewhere else. You can see we got a whole bunch of achievements and we can replace that in there. And essentially, we don't want to do that for every single one. So what we're going to do is build ourselves a quick little tool to do that. And I'm going to show you that right now. It is very simple, but let's step through it. This is the asset validator. And it is going to create a menu item that then, based on your selection, it will mark that selection as dirty. So, you know, whenever Unity decides to reload the domain or recompile, it is often because there has been a change to the information. The information has been marked dirty. And because the information is marked dirty, the editor will go, hey, there's been a change here. Let's make sure we recompile so that we can see that change when we next hit play. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark them dirty, and then we're just going to save it, and we're done. So what does that actually look like? When we select multiple of these, we go to Tools, and because we had added it into our Tools option, we've got Revalidate Selected Assets. Click that, and it'll be done. Everything will be revalidated, or rather marked dirty. You can see over here, we have in our Unity version control all these things that were marked dirty now. So it now knows that there's been a change. And that is going to cause every single one of these OnValidate to recompute. And in this case, let's go to achievement 15, distance 9. Let's select that, and you can see we now have the icon passed into it, and that was all in the inspector. we didn't actually have to instantiate anything. We didn't have to do any of that. It's simply when we drag and drop an achievement, the run modifier data will then pass that its icon into the achievement's icon for storage and for use for that achievement wherever you want in the game. So that's all there is. That's OnValidate. This is the asset revalidator. It is very straightforward, simple. Importantly, I am wrapping it in Unity editor tags because we do not want to compile this into our game itself. In fact, some Unity editor functions will actually prevent your game from building. So just keep that in mind. And hopefully this has been something new to you, something interesting. And yeah, if you want to see more of this content, please like, subscribe, and come back again. I try to do these videos weekly, but sometimes it is not possible, and I want to try to give you guys some useful content. So here we go. Thanks very much for watching. Ta.